Stay with us. This is Evidence on Kanato English. Today we are receiving Bar.Ndong Christopher. He is the Secretary General of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party, the political party that launched protest today, the 26th of January 2019, in the city of Douala and the other cities across the country, asking for the president to step down and denouncing some of irregularities, poor governance in terms of managing the Anglophone crisis, and equally the huge embezzlement of funds for the organization of the 2019 African Cup of Nations, as well as other electoral hold-up that is accusing the president of having hijacked the electoral process in the country. I am Dominic Kimo. Stay with us. Our guest, as I mentioned to you earlier, is Bar.Ndong Christopher. He is the Secretary General of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party. Barrister, thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, Mr. Meme, for inviting me once more on your platform for evidence. Barrister,
we are here in Douala. The Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party is organizing a protest march to denounce certain things in the country, most especially poor governance. What are some of the key things the CRM party is denouncing today?
In fact, in order of importance, the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, through its leadership, Professor Maurice Kamto and the National Directorate of the party, decided this year to launch part 3 of the whole electoral hold-up. And the reasons for our march this morning in Douala and all over the territory is because we are decrying the fact that the massive killings of young people, women, our parents, the burning of houses, all the atrocities that are going on with impunity in the Anglophone regions is what we are decrying and calling on the government to stop this killing, even on both sides. Call on the government and those who are fighting the forces to stop these killings, because the innocent blood are being shed, and of course property is lost, everything is lost, and we sit here and think the government is doing something good. We say no. That is why we are marching today, to protest and cry out loud before the world, the international community, before you, the journalists, the press, and everybody should know that Cameroon, the government is sick, the government is ready to kill all Anglophones, eliminate Anglophones, and Francophone sections of this country should not sit, fold their arms and look at what atrocities is being caused and thought it is a normal situation. That is where we are at. Secondly, we just realized that in this country, the African Nations Cup was withdrawn from this country. This country is a great football nation. In fact, it's something that would have caused total upheavals. But we are shocked that nothing is happening and that the government, through this process, had encouraged embezzlers who have embezzled huge sums of money and have not realized the project that was meant for this, a failure for which we were withdrawn this thing, and they are being covered, and some are even promoted to ministerial positions. In fact, we are saying this is unheard of. It is really terrible. It is our money. It is our nation. We should not be doing those kind of economic crimes in the face of the world, and everybody sits and look at it and say, all is well. It is not well. Deadly, I want to say, the elections of 2018, October, 7th of October 2018, Professor Maurice Kamto said it himself, and the world knows, we have seen, the records are there. He won the election, and the government confiscated his victory. We are crying till today for that victory. We are calling on all organizations within the country, abroad, to make sure the recount of this election is done, because Maurice Kamto won the presidential elections of 7th of October 2018, but the government has taken onto power using the military, the police, the gendarmes to suppress, maim, beat, lock up, and of course kill Cameroonians as a result of crying out for their rights.
Bar.Ndong Christopher, we just succeeded to pull you out of the field where you are participating in the protest march against electoral hold-up and the killings of persons in the 2 Anglophone regions of the country. Before you got into the studio, we have cases of some of the militants of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement that have been shot using live bullets by the police. What more do you know? Can you tell us about the shooting today?
This morning, particularly where I'm concerned, Douala, marches started from all over the nooks and crannies of the Vuri, wherein the Cameroon Renaissance Movement and the population, Cameroonians, came out to denounce all the facts, the points that I've raised here. The police, without any provocation, without any destruction, without any harm done to the society, the police decided to open fire and shot our militant, Celestine German, on the leg. The videos are all over in social media. He is being carried to the general hospital in Douala. Now, our militants go and sympathize, see what is happening with the militants. Metren Doki, our activist and militant, and even a leader. She is the vice president of the Cameroon Renaissance movement. She came at the entrance. She was shot on the leg. She was not demonstrating. She was not doing anything bad. She was shot on the leg. And there is a young man, Roland, who was equally shot through his testicles. He now is in La Cantine. Two others, Michel Doki, Germain Celestine, are in Hôpital General. I personally, talking to you now, I'm just coming from Hôpital General. Immediately they saw me come down from the vehicle. In fact, I was with Barrister Jumbisi and Madame Avis. They shot grenades on us. The whole place, they floated grenades near my car. Everything, and we were suffocated. I had to run and jump and enter the car, lock the door. They came bashing at the car that we should take off, we should get out from here. They don't want. They started dispersing people, shooting. In fact, it was horrible this morning. I saw it myself. I lived it myself. I was affected myself. My voice, in fact, I'm feeling some itches on my face as a result of this. But then the Cameroon Renaissance movement is resolved to continue the march, which was fixed for 2 a.m. today. And so
2 p.m.
2 p.m. today, we are going to march in Douala 2 p.m. The early marches that was done in some quarters where these people were shot, wounded, and are now hospitalized. In fact, it's a deplorable situation. This is a government that
Barrister, the protests in Cameroon has been very frequent. This week we had the Social Democratic Front that protested. Today again is the CRM party. Do you think the protests is going to take us somewhere?
The problem is the message we put across. It is not the protest. It is the message, because we sit and people feel that all is well in Cameroon. No, it is not well. Cameroon is sick. Governance is sick. Poor management, embezzlement, corruption. That is what is favoritism. You have tribalism. They promote tribalism, hate speech, and all of that. We are saying this government has failed to deliver to Cameroonians, and they should leave. Of course, Cameroonians vomited them on the 7th of October 2018. They are sticking to power to neutralize us. They repress us. They shoot us, break our legs, break our bones, and in fact threaten people. People cannot come out. You can see what is happening in Boya. A Kema is there in Boya, locking up stores, informing them that they should not open because they are observing a day for their fundamental right as a country Sunday. We are decrying all of this. It is not correct. We are saying it is not correct. We are human beings. We have a voice and to partake in the management of this country.
Barrister, let's talk about the shooting of some militants of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party today. What has been the official reaction from the CRM party? Let's talk about Professor Maurice Kamto. Has there been any official statement as far as the shooting is concerned?
Professor Maurice Kamto has decried through a short, brief communique that in fact what the military is doing, police, gendarmes, they are doing currently on the Cameroon Renaissance militant and Cameroonians in general is deplorable. It's something which in fact is a crime against humanity. He just came out with a short communique and is decrying what is happening, that it is a constitutional right for Cameroonians to go on the streets when they are disgruntled to express their anger. We organized a peaceful protest. And remember, before prelude to this event, we had applied to all the more than 300 and something subdivisions of this country, 360 subdivisions of this country. Most of the subdivisional officers rejected our application to protest and declare before the public what we are not happy of. And so therefore we decided that since it's a constitutional right, it's written in the constitution that every Cameroon disgruntled on the management and running of the country is supposed to peacefully protest and bring to government attention the ills and vices. And there the government, in its reply, instead of listening, getting what the people have to tell them, they send police and gendarmes to brutalize and kill. And we are watching and we are seeing that it is a particular group, a particular ethnic group in the military, in the police, that are shooting and killing our people. I'm telling you, this is a fact. We have verified, and the investigations keep going on because it's not correct. It's barbaric. We are human beings, children of the same nation, and when we are talking something, government should learn from it to modify and try to ameliorate. It's not to press people not to talk, stop them from passing their message to the world. In fact, this country is not going fine.
Bar.Ndong Christopher, you are the Secretary General of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party. After all these protests, what next?
The protest is not only in Douala. We did it in Bafoussam. They have caught our militants. They have locked them up. There are others who have been injured in Bafoussam, in Yaoundé. We know of Eric Kinger, who has been arrested. He's at the judicial police. We know of many others who have been caught and they are being locked up right now as we speak. And as the march continues till night, this evening or today, we will think that the government should be able to understand that a protest march, the security forces should come, guide the people marching from the beginning to the end, not brutalizing them. In fact, that is not how they should behave. If they were trained like that to be animals, barbarians, we are saying no, that is not the republic that Paul Biya is trying to leave behind. Honestly, we are saying we decry all of this and they should stop it. That is what we want. When
you look at the reaction on the field, the number of people, we know that over 3 million Cameroonians or people live in the city of Douala. If you look at the number of people that come out to support such a protest march, do you think the population is really with the CRM party for such a protest?
We, the people, came out massively. Let me tell you, we did it in segments. We did not call all of Douala to assemble on the spot. If we did that, in fact, you would have seen there will be no movement. It will be, in fact, blocking the circulation of those who are not our militants. We allow them to express their opinion. But our militants, we decided that in Douala 1, they should form and then draw up their plan on how they will march. Douala 2, Douala 3, Douala 4, Douala 5, 6. That is the planning. That is why you cannot talk of the massive population. But what we have to tell you, we won the elections in Douala to tell you we have the majority here. And so that majority, we segmented them to come out. That's why you find a group substantial at each corner of the country. Put them together. In fact, it will be wonderful. The population will be wonderful. And people are sensitized. They know that we are going out. And when police appears, there are people, there are militants, normally, logically, those sympathizers who wanted to join, those our militants, not everybody has the heart to be a front fighter. But the real front fighters come out. The number is impressive.
Bar.Ndong Christopher, Secretary General of this Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party. Will the CRM party go in for any elections in Cameroon this year?
We don't always predict elections. We say...
With the present context that we have, there is an electoral hold-up by the President of the Republic. We have the Anglophone crisis in the northwest and the southwest. People are being killed. If they organize any elections in Cameroon today, will the party go in?
A boycott is a no point to the Cameroon Renaissance movement. But what we are struggling to do, we will fight tooth and nail to make sure the electoral code is modified in order that future elections should be carried out. We have never ever said we will boycott any election. It is made clear from the beginning, the creation of the party, we can't boycott elections.
But you can't boycott an election, even though if they make the electoral code favorable for you, and the protests and the killings still continue in the northwest, paralyzed. Will you accept to go for an election where part of the country will not be participating?
We in fact sympathize with those happenings, those killings in the northwest and southwest. We are not yet in government, and we are fighting to overthrow this government, to take over power and solve the problem in the Anglophone regions, to bring back the people to the table, discuss. The people in the Anglophone region cry of marginalization. The people cry of, in fact, exploiting their resources and not giving back even 1% of it for them to live a better or decent life. No good roads, no schools. Schools are not going. It doesn't tickle a government. In fact, that is not the government that will want to rule the people. The people of the Anglophone regions are, in fact, tired with the way their marginalization, their repression, and destroying all their values are concerned. So we are saying in the Cameroon Renaissance movement, for the most country have said it, we shall come in and call them, restitute those values, see how we can restitute autonomy, autonomous powers to them so that they run and manage their own resources, and the state takes control on how these resources are being managed. And of course, federalism or whatever is an option to be discussed. The Cameroon Renaissance movement is very clear. It is not for separation.
Thank you very much, Bar.Ndong Christopher, Secretary General of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party. You are equally here in a double capacity as one of the council or the defense council of Ayuk Tabe Jilos and the 9 others interim leaders of the Ambazonian Republic detained in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, for asking for the restoration of Ambazonia statehood. Barrister, will find out from you now what has been the outcome of the case of Ayuk Tabe Jilos and the others against the Nigerian government that took place on the 21st of January.
Yes, before I get into that, there is some preliminaries I want to make clear here.
All right.
Because going to the world, Ayuk Tabe and the others, we met with them last week.
Okay.
And they told us that they have restricted their families to come and give them food. They feed them only once in prison, and they don't eat the food because it's not good. And if they start stopping their relatives to come and visit them, in fact, it is violation of their rights. Number two, some of them have special cases of illness that need specialists. The government does not allow them to contact their specialists to be, in fact, treated. Individually, they have their personal different illnesses. We are saying the court, the last court adjournment, we raised this problem in court, telling the court to order the commissaire de gouvernement to give permit de communiquer, that is a pass for the families to visit them. It was decided that they will do it. Up to now speaking, they have not done it. These people are languishing there in hunger. Their families bring them food, they prepare their food. They have to eat. They don't rely on the food that is given in prison because, in fact, it's rubbish there. And of course, we are saying that thing should stop. They should do everything to allow their families to visit them. It's a right, it's in the code, it's in the law. They should allow them to have their doctors. It is there in the law. And they, of course, they deny lawyers to see them. It is not correct. It is not correct. Coming back to the case in Nigeria, yes, if you see, it's a continuation of the case that is here in Cameroon, wherein in Nigeria, we the lawyers have sued the Nigerian government to explain to the court and to the people of Nigeria and the world why will refugees, people who have been declared having status as refugees, the Ayuk Tabe and the rest have status as refugees, they were abducted from Nigeria, a territory where a foreign military cannot go there with his plane, stay for weeks, carry those people, and the government pretend to say they don't know. In fact, it is not done. In international law, the status of refugee should not be violated. Their rights should not be violated. Once the Ayuk Tabe and the others declared that they were refugees in Nigeria, they have automatically denounced their status as Cameroonians. And for that reason, the Nigerian government had no right to have taken Ayuk Tabe and the others to hand to the Cameroon government. So what was
the verdict at the Abuja High Court?
The Abuja High Court, we went there. Honestly, the judge was invited for a seminar on Friday. We had the court session on Monday. So they served him to appear on Friday, on Thursday, to come on Thursday at Lagos for a seminar. So she adjourned the matter for that reason. Now we have lawyers in Nigeria.
Adjourned to which date?
On Monday the 28th.
28th of
January.
January.
To Monday the 28th.
Yeah.
So we have lawyers in Nigeria and Cameroonian lawyers who will be there. We came back because we have to come and prepare for the case that is coming up on the 7th of February.
Okay.
We are counsels in the matter, and the matter before the military tribunal in Yaoundé, we made it very clear. The accused person said they were not Cameroonians, La République Cameroonians. They were Southern Cameroon's British Ambazonians. And that is the country they know they belong to, and that they cannot be attributed a false nationality. So the identification of those people were very clear. We had to now raise an objection and file our objection in liminitis. That is, before entering the substantive matter, we raised the issue of nationality. And the Cameroonian nationality code states in the section 3 and 41 that Ayuk Tabe and the others cannot be judged on the status of nationality by a military court. It says in its 41 that it is a civil court that has a right to entertain the issue of nationality. Now people have been questioning why
a civil court in Cameroon will not settle the issues of the nationality of Ayuk Tabe, Julius and others. Yeah.
It could not, because the same nationality code of Cameroon says the civil court is that of the place of arrest.
Okay.
So
and they were arrested in Nigeria.
They were never arrested in Cameroon. That's why the lawyers said, send Ayuk Tabe and others to Nigeria so that a civil court in Nigeria is seized and determines the nationality of Ayuk Tabe. Okay. If they discover them in Nigeria, the civil court discover they are Cameroonian, they will now hand them over to the Cameroonian authorities to prosecute them. And we are saying they are violating international instruments. They have refugee status. As refugees, Nigeria was not supposed to hand them to them. They have, we have what we call due process, must be followed for them to be handed. But then, if Nigerian government did not want them there as activists from another country, it would have requested Ayuk Tabe and the others to determine which other country to go, because we don't want you in our country. Then now the negotiations will go between Nigeria and the country and the people. they will domicile there, and then the UN is everywhere. It will take over the management and caring of these people. But to take them and send, for instance, you have a neighbor fighting with the wife, beat the wife or a child. The child runs to the next neighbor. What does the neighbor do? He blocks the man, say, no. It's okay, we'll arrange it. He will not take the person who is running from death and send back for him to be killed. That is what we are saying. In international law, it's not feasible. What Nigeria has done is not correct. And the act to bring them here, they were abducted. They were not
extradited.
No.
What has been the reaction?
No extradition treaty between
Nigeria. What has been the reaction?
Giving false information.
What has been the reaction so far from the United Nations High Commission for Refugee? Have they reacted that some of persons with refugee status were taken from Nigeria to Cameroon illegally?
That is a situation that worries all Cameroonians. The United Nations, in fact, is showing to us what we have been seeing doing in other countries. They are very docile, and they are not willing to help. They have to intervene, but they are not doing. All of this structure, Cameroon violates international instruments. We know that if you sign that convention, international convention supersedes and have the force over national laws. And for Cameroon to have violated the rights of refugees, and United Nations sits and look at it. In fact, they say their movement is slow, but we say it's too slow. It's too slow. But they will never intervene.
Is that diplomatic? Is it for diplomatic reasons, perhaps?
There is no diplomacy there. Once the law is abused, United Nations have to intervene immediately. After all, there is a resolution of the United Nations which states that they will further preempt wars than trying to come to cure after war. Are you getting me? So the case of Southern Cameroon, they are not intervening. They are not coming in. They are waiting that they should kill all Anglophones. Then they will come with food aid, medical aid, monies to come and build houses. We say no. Intervene now that people are living in the bushes. Intervene now people are suffering in Nigeria. Make sure the government is brought to order. In fact, somebody actually said he does his heart to this government that is ruling us. They corrupt the UN, they corrupt all organizations up to Nigeria to bring people here illegally. Honestly, in fact, then there is something wrong somewhere. We still have to discover it. Because Cameroon, the people who are there, we don't know how they operate. Because they will violate certain laws, we think sanctions will come. You see sanctions sliding and falling. They steal elections, it is clear, nobody talks. You see people withdrawing. They say United Nations, you will not, European Union, you will not supervise election. They bring Transparency International to come and tell us on fake people. Transparency International sits quiet. They abuse, kill, and beat people. Where is the United Nations Declaration for Human Rights? Where is that of the political economic rights? European Union sends money for biometric from start to finish. They give biometric only for registration. The rest of the money has been walloped. Everybody sits and look at. In fact, they are a terrible giant. We still have to discover how they operate. But all of that is coupled with bribery, corruption, and in fact, impunity. Bar.Ndong
Christopher, we're a few minutes to the end of the program. How do you see the trial of Ayuk Tabe-Jilos, both in Cameroon and Nigeria? What's the way forward?
Nigeria, I will give credence to the Nigerian legal system. If the courts in Nigeria decides by the application were made that Ayuk Tabe and the others who were illegally taken out of Nigeria should be brought back. If a decision in that sense is given, Nigeria government will be on pressure to see how to bring back the Ayuk Tabe. How it does it with the government of Cameroon is their business. Number one. Number two, the fact that we are saying they are refugees, the United Nations should be able to intervene, because now we are at the point where we have to show evidence to the fact that they are refugees. They were registered under the United Nations. But go and ask them, they will start telling you, oh, they don't mingle in the politics of a country. Can you imagine all of this? We are saying we will prove by all means that they are refugees, and that the law system here, we know, is punctuated with arrogance, violation of our own proper laws that are read and known by everybody. Now that we have raised the issue of nationality, is very clear. The government, by this trial, the law is on our side. The Defense Council for Ayuk, the law is on our side. The Chief Judge must order Ayuk Tabe and the others to be sent back to Nigeria if they have to respect their own nationality code. Nothing has been added, nothing has been removed. We have now equally the African Charter on Human and People's Rights violated by Cameroon. Universal Declaration on Human Rights violated in Cameroon. The matter is not only in Cameroon and Nigeria. It has been filed before the Banjul in Gambia.
Yes.
It has been filed before the AU. It will now soon go places. The filing will continue. And to tell you, we have filed, there are 37 others and 11 still being locked up, and their matters have not come up. I was told 2 days ago that the 37, their matters is coming up on the 6th of February. We shall be in court, and on the 7th, we shall be for the Ayuktabe.
Thank you very much.
There are 11 others who have not been brought up, but we have filed habeas corpus for the 37 and 11. Each time we file habeas corpus, they know we are going to bring international instruments, and to be able to win the case, they will drag them and start their ugly criminal proceedings against those people.
Thank you so much.
How can you take
Barrister,
professors?
Thank you.
Leaders
we are running out
doctors,
of time. Thank you so much.
How can you say they are terrorists?
We'll find another time to talk more about the case of Ayuktabe Jilos and the others. Thank you so much, Bar.Ndong Christopher, Secretary General of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party, and equally one of the defense lawyers defending Ayuktabe Jilos and others. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Dominic, for enabling me to expose some of these nitty-gritties to clear the public opinion. No confusion should be made. Ayuktabe and others are Southern Cameroon British Ambazonians. They declared in court, and they were refugees having status duly notified to them, which we shall produce in court. And so the government of Cameroon now must take them back without thwarting the law or violating the law or giving an arrogant judgment.
Thank you so much, Bar.Ndong Christopher. And listeners, we thank you so much for watching this very edition of the program Evidence. If you miss out anything, watch the rebroadcast to learn more about the protests of CRM militants and equally the trial of Ayuktabe Jilos and others. I am Dominic Memengwa Kimo. Thank you.